Hello, I'm Kelly Ryan with Incourage Community Foundation, and I'm happy to welcome you to this month's edition of Are You In? So today I'm speaking with you behind our building. The Community Foundation is located right across from the Hotel Mead on East Grand Avenue, and I'm in front of a series of hopa trees that we planted when we moved into this building in recognition of Virginia and of Richard Brazo. We planted hopa trees around the perimeter of our building here on East Grand, and happy to see that their daughter Mary set up a permanent fund that will continue that legacy here in our community. Related to what you'll see on the show, one of today's guests is Kirk Willard, Ocean Spray plant manager here. And he and I recently spent the evening and day at MIT at a gathering hosted by MIT's Sloan School for Business Management and the Hitachi Foundation. We were the opening speakers, and what we were able to talk about was the collaboration and partnerships that we have been able to create here in Southwood County around workforce, and how workforce has led to an evolution of feeding an economic growth strategy. Ocean Spray was heralded as really one of the exemplar employers in terms of employer practice and how they treat their employees, and I just want to call that out. Also, June, of course, is a very busy month at Incourage. The end of the month, we have Vital Signs. This is the third edition of Vital Signs. It's produced by COWS, Center on Wisconsin Strategy at UW-Madison. And what they're doing is tracking data that give us indicators of community health. How is our economy? How are we doing on free and reduced lunch? How are we doing on indicators of poverty or indicators of economic growth? And what we want to do is continue to invest in this kind of data so that we have a good picture of where are we going as a community. Are we making progress? Vital Signs is going to be on June 25th. It will be held at the Gilbert and J. Lee Mead Auditorium at the Community Theater, which is in the Centralia Center. It's open to the public. We have a lot of institutional interest in this, certainly, because nonprofits, community organizations, and municipals need good data to make good decisions. But it also has been invaluable for the general public, so I'd encourage you to come to that. We have a lot of things blossoming in the community, and if you think about the potential of our community, the assets that we have, you really frame that in terms of growth potential. I love the analogy of, blossoming, because we really are blossoming. So the next Blossom event we have is in June, and of course that's Cranberry Blossom Festival. There are going to be a lot of exciting activities around the Daily Tribune building then. It really will be our first public open house, tours, engagement for people of all ages. So watch for more information about that and take time to come down and have a tour. There will be many more things that will happen after that, but I'd encourage you, if you're downtown, please come and stop by the Daily Tribune building. Thank you for tuning in, and on behalf of all of us at Incourage, staff, board, and volunteers, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our show.
Hello and welcome to
Are You In? A show by your Incourage Community Foundation.
It recognizes and celebrates the many good things happening in our community.
And it highlights the courageous work being done by our friends and neighbors.
We've got a lot happening on today's show.
A plethora. Incourage's teen leadership program wrapped up the year with their community project. We'll join our Scoop reporters, Katie and Allison, to see how the teen leaders helped make our community a more beautiful place, if that's possible.
And this month, we'll hear from our donors who have scholarship funds at Incourage and why they established them. Hear what they have to say.
We know there's always a lot happening at Incourage, so get your calendar ready to mark down some important dates.
Today, we're on location at the site of a local event.
On the road again. Yes, we've got a twist in the monthly segment we call Where Are We in Southwood County?
This month, it's an event. We're not giving away where we are or what we're at.
We'll give you a couple of hints though. You'll have to guess and stay tuned.
Okay, here comes hint number 1. Since 2006, it's taken place every June, usually on the longest day of the year.
And here I thought they were all 24 hours. Well, here's another clue. The last time 700 people came to see The Wizard of Oz.
Wow, that's very cool. Still in the dark? Hey, it's okay. That's where you want to be.
Well, we'll reveal what it is and where we are later, so stay tuned. We Are Encouraged highlights an individual or group who shows courage and has taken a risk.
This month, we highlight local sophomores who participate in Incourage's Southwood County Teen Leadership Program.
That is a really cool program.
It is.
In May, they made our community a cleaner, more beautiful place by planting more than 150 trees and shrubs at the 2-mile detention pond.
Their project wrapped up a year-long program that taught teens several things, including
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. They also learned about philanthropy through grant making. And each teen met with local community leaders.
Whew! And while they were doing all that, they planned and completed their community service project.
What a wonderful program. Let's hear from teen leaders Katie Delaney and Allison Brost, who were on the scene to bring us the story.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Allison, and we're here at 2 Mile Avenue for the Southwood County Teen Leadership Project.
Where sophomores from different schools in Southwood County are planting trees and bushes for the 2-mile detention pond.
Each year, teen leaders choose a project that benefits the community. This year, they helped the City of Wisconsin Rapids complete a stormwater project by undertaking beautification efforts that will also benefit the local watershed.
Construction started last fall. We finished it up this spring actually with topsoiling and seeding around the perimeter, and then also with the tree planting that's being done today. The pond is part of our stormwater management plan and water quality improvements throughout the city as part of a DNR program.
It's a very interesting project. It impacts the community quite a bit. This is water from a 300-acre watershed, and it's being purified and then put into the 2-mile creek to cleanse the river, and it's a pretty big thing.
We decided to choose them because we thought that it would be more beneficial to our community, help with pollution and everything.
We picked this project because we thought it would have a lasting impact on the community, and we would be able to come back and see what we have done for the years to come.
Teen Leadership is designed to help participating high school sophomores become involved in their schools and communities. The program teaches potential new leaders the skills necessary to become effective community leaders.
Something that taught me a lot in teen leadership was stepping out of my box and getting to know people.
Teen leadership has really helped me to learn how to participate and not just sit back and watch and let other people make decisions, and to know that everyone has a voice.
Teen leadership has helped me with speaking out of my shell, talking to people, and making new friends.
As the day progressed, teen leaders saw the immediate impact of their work. They also learned the importance of working together.
We planted a variety of trees and shrubs. Behind us there's popple trees. We planted some maple and some aspen.
I don't think anything went wrong, and I think this will really benefit everyone.
I think it's really showing the people that we can make a difference as a whole, not just individuals.
Local leaders appreciate the teens' work. They also recognize why it's important to include youth in community efforts.
The teen leaders have been doing really well. There's 115 trees that have to go in. Overall, it looks real good, and it's a great day, and everybody's having fun.
I think it's cool because the youth and the teens like you have an opportunity now to make our city a more beautiful place. I think every community that is a vibrant community has a place where youth can be a part of the process, and this is a great place to do it.
Well, looks like a job well done.
That's it from our beautification project at the Wisconsin Rapids New Detention Pond. For Teen Leadership, I'm Katie Delaney.
And I'm Allison Broach, signing out.
Incourage's Workforce Central program began in 2008 as a National Fund for Workforce Solutions site.
It was one of 30 sites across the country, and at the time, only one of 2 rural sites. The program focuses on retraining workers for available careers.
Last year, when we did our community survey, 55% of respondents felt that business leaders were not meeting community challenges.
Sounds like a misperception, but We know that to move forward, we must build on our region's assets. One of these is the cranberry industry and the people who work there.
So let's hear from Ocean Spray's Kirk Willard to learn what's being done and how it's helping our community.
As the owner or chief executive of a business, you're being offered a unique opportunity to help design a process that provides you with the skilled employees you need while providing workers with the training and credentials that lead to permanent family-supporting jobs that build your community. This is more than an opportunity. It is a reality. Since 2007, the National Fund for Workforce Solutions has provided matching grants to organize and sustain more than 30 regional collaboratives that identify the workforce needs of area businesses in key industries. In turn, these collaboratives create employer-led partnerships among businesses, educational institutions, and support services, develop highly skilled workers who are educated, trained, and prepared to meet specific job requirements in these key business areas, and improve workforce policies and practices to make businesses more competitive and profitable. Employers benefit by having access to a highly skilled workforce. Employees get the skills and certifications that lead to careers and wages that support a family and build a healthy community. This is a proven strategy that has produced successful outcomes and significant community impact throughout the United States. One of these success stories is taking place in central Wisconsin. Here, since 2009, the Workforce Central Manufacturing Partnership has helped businesses grow, put people to work, and generated public policies and workplace practices that make sense. But we'll leave the telling of this story to someone who has helped to make this success possible.
This plant was purchased from Northland Cranberries by Ocean Spray in 2004. And we built the world's largest cranberry concentrator in 2004, started it up in 2005, and then in 2007 we put in the company's largest sweetened dried cranberry line, making a product called craisins and other ingredient items. And then in 2008 we doubled the size of the craisin operation and have been running it ever since. This facility has been the plant of the year the last 3 years running for Ocean Spray. You know, we can build the best plants in the world. We can you know, develop and invent some of the best technology in our industry, but it really does take folks to come in and run these facilities and successfully. We're aware, as any advanced manufacturer is today, that there is a coming skills gap. And it's looming. There's going to be a lot of folks retire that have had a lot of years to build those skills, and we need to make sure that we've replaced those skills, and that the folks coming in, whether it be right from high school or from the technical schools, that they come in with the skills we need. So it's again important and imperative, frankly, that we're involved in that process. And it's beneficial to have us developing our upcoming managers and our frontline supervisors with some methodology and some consistency. We're partnering with the technical college. Multiple businesses in town are partnering with the technical college and with the community foundation, and deciding what we need those future employees and future graduates to look like, incumbent workers and future workers. So again, when they come into the workforce, they're ready to go. They have the skill sets that are designed by us for what we need, and the expectation is they'll hit the ground running, they'll meet the need, and there's a pipeline. I attended the first meeting and I saw the quality of the business leaders in the room, and I saw that it was going to be something quite impactful. In fact, a unique opportunity to get peers in the same room, give us a forum where we can discuss our issues and really begin to work on them. And I believe one of the first comments I made was, time is very expensive and I don't have enough of it, so that we need to be very, very prudent with our time, and I need a measurable outcome. Every single meeting, every single time we meet, every touch of this program needs to have an outcome, and we've done that. We benefit a great deal from our local workforce and our local workforce development, our educational system, so it's important. In fact, it's imperative, in my opinion, that we're a participant in that process. I'm proud to say that all of our current supervisors came through our workforce development efforts. My expectation is when we grow again, that we'll pick from our own. We'll pick from our own community, so we won't have to go to the outside. I went into it a little bit skeptical, believing that those entities weren't going to be as easy to find as we thought. And after a meeting or two, it was hard to slow us down. I've often said publicly that one of the most important meetings each month I participate in is the workforce development meeting. You get good engaged businesses that value their workforce, and you get the educational system that has a product to provide and certainly an outcome that they're looking for. And again, you get a community foundation that can tie it all together. It's a win-win situation.
The National Fund for Workforce Solutions, helping business people like you become more competitive and profitable through employer-led partnerships that allow you to help design the process for creating the skilled workforce you need to grow your business, defining skills, creating opportunities, and changing employer practice and public policies. It's a strategy that produces successful outcomes and community impact. Help us continue to shape the future of workforce development. Take the opportunity to access the skilled employees you need, provide workers with the training and credentials that lead to permanent family-supporting jobs, and build your community.
Thanks to generous donors, Incourage offers more than 100 scholarships for students pursuing higher education.
And each scholarship has its own story for why it was established. Let's hear from some of these donors.
And now it's time for the question of the month. This month's question: why did you start a scholarship fund at Incourage?
Well, when I started teaching at Mead Elementary School, and I started asking the children what were their hopes and dreams, most of them said things like working at McDonald's or getting a job at Walmart. And I asked them why that type of job, and they said, well, they didn't see themselves going on to college. And so I said to Joe, I think we need to do something. And so we decided that we would start a scholarship for minority students at Incourage.
I think we've been doing this for, at least 13 years now. And all the applicants have been outstanding.
Our son Brian died very young at 29. And when you die young like that, we thought it very important to keep a memory alive, to honor him. And every year we're able to do that. Brian also really valued education. He loved learning, he loved going to school, and so we wanted to combine then the two, and Incourage was just the perfect place for this to happen. So every year I get to remember Brian and honor him and honor a student who's going to go on and continue learning forever.
I had worked for many years at a doctor's clinic, and I could see the need for physicians and nurses and therapists, and I thought I'd rather help these young people. I mean, that is what I wanted to do with my money that I received when I retired, so I began the scholarship.
Actually, our scholarship fund was a surprise from our children, their spouses, and our grandchildren in honor of our 50th anniversary. What happened was that our youngest son was married less than a week before our 50th anniversary, and at a brunch the morning after the wedding, because we had not planned a 50th anniversary party, the children presented us with the scholarship. And this was a wonderful way to celebrate our 50th. Instead of having a party that would have lasted one evening, now we can celebrate every year. We've had the pleasure of meeting lots of high school graduates and kind of following their careers through college.
The reason I started the scholarship program through Incourage is I was very impressed with the organization. We need good doctors and nurses and everybody in the medical field. I'm just super pleased to give scholarships out for 4 years. They can apply, and a nice bunch of students that are going on in the medical field and fill the jobs that need to be filled for medical and nursing and whatever field they'd like to go in the field. And I think it's very important that the students get scholarships to help encourage them to go to in the medical field, which we picked. So.
I come from an entrepreneurial family. My roots are here in Wisconsin Rapids, and when we were young, my grandfather would always say to us, how are you going to give back? What kind of difference are you going to make? And so my grandpa and grandma started a family fund with Incourage many years ago, and when my grandfather passed away, we added to that fund. And so when we lost my dad, it just seemed natural to us to establish a scholarship through Incourage to make a difference in the lives of our youth.
There's always a long list of things happening at the Community Foundation, but here are a few highlights for this month at Incourage.
We're sponsoring zoo events again. Yay! These free interactive events are fun for old and young.
On June 18th, the Minnesota Zoomobile rolls into town with shows at 11 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
Get it? Rolls in?
I get it.
On July 9th, Nature's Niche with Dino features a rainforest program at 1 p.m.
Both of these events are held in Helen Zoo House at the Wisconsin Rapids Zoo. Thanks to Helen Mead for making these programs possible through her fund at Incourage.
Oh, wonderful. During the weekend of June 20th through June 23rd, tour the former Daily Tribune property during Cranberry Blossom Festival.
And if you can't make it that weekend, contact us here at Incourage to request a tour schedule.
We want your input on how you think that building should be used.
We sure do. July 4th is Incourage Day at the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters.
Here, I thought that was Independence Day. Well, maybe 2 in 1. It's
okay,
a twofer day.
It is.
Bring a non-perishable food item and receive 2 tickets for the price of 1.
And after the game, head downtown along the Wisconsin River to see one of the best fireworks shows in Wisconsin.
Oh, they're always great.
They are.
Baseball and fireworks, there's no better way to celebrate the 4th other than a brat, too, which you can get at the ball game.
That's right. Every month we're working on many projects, but that's what's happening this month at Incourage.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, we're back, and it's time to find out where are we in Southwood County?
Rick, what do the Wizard of Oz, Yogi Bear, and Grace have in common?
Let me think. I can repeat all of them word for word.
Wow, Yogi Bear too?
Yeah.
That's
smarter than the average bear.
Okay, but sorry, that's not the answer I was looking for.
Oh.
They're all movies that have been the feature film in downtown classic cinema under the stars.
How could I have forgotten? That's right. And here's Christopher Gash to tell us how it started and when and where it is this year.
Cinema Under the Stars is located in downtown Wisconsin Rapids on Grand Avenue between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. Cinema Under the Stars dates back to 2006 when I was in the Heart of Wisconsin leadership class. Myself and 3 others. It was a good opportunity to do something completely different by closing off the street and showing a live movie. And at first there were plenty of naysayers that said no one's going to come down and sit in the street and watch a movie that they've already seen. And then 700 people showed up to watch The Wizard of Oz in the rain. So we counted that as a success. Over the last 8 seasons, we've shown actually 10 or 11 films. We started, of course, with The Wizard of Oz, everyone's favorite. We followed up then with some other real family kind of musical classics. We did Grease, we did the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then we moved into some of the more 80s cult classics like E.T. we showed, and Ghostbusters, things like that. The evening of the event, before the actual movie itself gets started, we have lots of things for people to do down here on Grand Avenue. There's always food available. Sometimes it's on the other side of the bridge, sometimes we have food vendors set up right here. There's certainly snacks and drinks available. Definitely activities for the little kids to do. We've had chalk art contests and things of the sort. Oftentimes music and things to just keep people busy while we wait for dusk and the movie to start. We really try and gear this event towards families because we know that there are a lot of people looking for things to do, especially families with children and young children, and we wanted to make sure that it was not only accessible for families but that it was as affordable as possible. And for that reason, the admission is free. You can show up at any point in the evening and enjoy as much or as little of the movie as you would like. Oftentimes there are quite a few little ones that tire out about 10 minutes into the film and you'll see mom and dad carting them away in their arms. If you're interested in sponsoring, you can find us on Facebook and send us a message. We would be more than happy to sort of gather that information up and start planning out for years in advance. This current event that's coming up here in a couple of weeks is actually sponsored by Incourage Community Foundation with a generous grant, so we're certainly very thankful for that. We think that Cinema Under the Stars is really a great event to attend because not only does it bring you back to downtown Wisconsin Rapids, but it gives you an opportunity to meet people that you might not meet just passing on the street. And that's one of the things we've really enjoyed watching as we've organized these events, is seeing families come together, neighbors run into each other that didn't know they were coming, or meeting new friends. Certainly you get the groups of little kids that suddenly are all best friends for a night and can't wait to see each other again. And it really is accessible for all ages. We really want people to come down, have a good time, support these businesses down here, or bring a picnic in and set up shop and just enjoy some time with family and friends.
Well, that's it for today's show. We appreciate you taking time to get the inside scoop about your community and the work of Incourage Community Foundation.
As always, a huge thanks to River Cities Community Access for hosting us.
Tune in next month for another edition of
Are You In?